From the Target 12 investigators, parents' pain. The miracle of science and in vitro fertilization helped a local couple have a child.
But they claim the unthinkable happened when they tried to have a second child. Embryos they were told were viable were gone.
Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau has the exclusive details.
These parents deny knowingly giving women and infants consent to dispose of their embryos. And they came to Target 12 after a recent lawsuit involving a frozen embryo brought back their pain. Bella and Randy Noka took us far off the pavement to a sacred spring in the woods of the Narragansett Tribe's reservation. They tell us this is their place to worship, to talk to their creator, to honor those who have passed.
My mother is buried right up the road. This is where I will come to say goodbye, but I can't say goodbye because I don't know if they're out there.
The Nokas tell us they went through the in vitro process in 2001 at Women and Infants Hospital Fertility Center. One of their embryos would grow into their son, who's now a teenager, and records they showed us indicate there were other viable embryos left.
We always knew that we would have another child. They are my children. They are life.
The Nokas tell us in September of 2006 they received this letter telling them the 5-year contract to store their embryos was running out. Mrs. Noka tells us she verbally told hospital personnel multiple times they wanted the embryos to remain frozen until the couple was ready to have another child. The shocker came in 2008 when the Nokas went to check on their embryos. They were told they did not survive a thawing process and that 2006 letter was a mistake.
It's pain, it's hurt. It's hurt. I put my trust, every bit of my trust, into people I thought that would be ethical.
The Nokas contemplated legal action, but were told by their attorney there was a lack of legal ground to base a complaint on in what was still a relatively new science in 2008.
The hopes and dreams that we had.
An Eyewitness News report on Marissa Cloutier-Bristol's lawsuit and claim that Women and Infants stored a frozen embryo without her consent brought the pain back for the Nokas.
But I can't put anything to rest right now because I will never, ever, ever know. And they're not going to tell me. It's going to take a miracle.
No comment from the hospital on this specific case due to privacy issues, but a spokesperson tells us Women and Infants is, quote, guided by comprehensive policies and procedures that evolve as our services, technology, and the needs of our patients change. We asked for the hospital's embryo storage policy, but we're told Women and Infants does not release its clinical policies. With the Target 12 investigators, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.
From the Target 12 investigators, parents' pain. Recent studies tell us tens of thousands of parents are using in vitro fertilization to have children.
But after 2 recent claims regarding local embryo storage, we wanted to learn more about what parents should know. Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau has the exclusive details.
A report released in 2017 indicates about 60,000 babies were born through the use of in vitro fertilization that year. Other data shows about 1 million babies have been born through IVF and other technology since the late 1980s.
There's no way of moving on.
Randy and Bella Noka embraced the joy of childbirth through in vitro fertilization in 2001.
It constantly.
But 7 years later, they say they were crushed when they found out embryos they say they thought were stored at Women and Infants Fertility Center for them to have potentially another child were gone, even though this 2006 letter from the hospital said they still had viable embryos.
It was devastating because I couldn't share it with anyone. And nobody knew what I was going through. So I had to almost masquerade my emotions and keep my head in the sand.
Her head came out of the sand.
I feel like I'm grieving
when this North Attleboro woman came forward with a lawsuit filed against Women and Infants Fertility Center. Marissa Cloutier-Bristol also went through the in vitro process in the early 2000s, but was shocked by a 2017 letter telling her one of her embryos was still in storage, even though she claims she never gave the hospital consent. Her husband died in 2006. We talked with her Boston attorney Jeffrey Catalano about what parents thinking about in vitro fertilization should consider. One key question:
will you contact us before doing anything with them, donating them or destroying them?
Catalano offered other issues to consider. Make sure you understand the paperwork. Have a plan in writing in case of divorce, separation, or death. Know how long the hospital will store the embryos. And he tells us with the rise in the use of IVF, he hopes the issues involving his client and the Nokas will prompt hospitals to focus on their process.
IVF treatment's becoming a lot more prolific, a lot more available to many people, and it's an attractive option for people who want to have children later in life.
No comment from the hospital on either of these specific cases. A spokesperson tells us Women and Infants, quote, is guided by comprehensive policies and procedures that evolve as our services, technology, and the needs of our patients change. With the Target 12 investigators, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.